Hey, what's up YouTube? Just making another video. The other night we were talking about how many megapixels are necessary to get a good quality image. Tonight I kind of wanted to talk a little deeper about the size of the photo sites and how that affects light gathering. I mentioned it previously in the other video, and when I was messing around reading some articles on the internet, I found an older article from July 30th. Sorry about that, from July 30th of 2015. And it's talking about the release of a new Canon video camera, new at the time, of course. And this thing has a 4 million max ISO. So it virtually sees in pitch black. They claim that it can see in 0.005 lux, which is unbelievably low amount of light. You certainly wouldn't be able to see your hand in front of your face. Then in this article, he's talking about just the amazing ability of this thing to see in the dark, and how at the time it was mind-blowing technology. So here it is right here. It's called the ME20F-SH. And it's a full frame camera specifically made to do video. It runs at 1080p. It uses the Canon CF mount or EF mount, something like that. But the standard, the Canon EF mount. So you can use all your standard Canon lenses on there, and you know, that's kind of nice for people that do have the Canon lenses. But this thing is unreasonably expensive. It is $30,000 in 2015. I'm sure, I haven't looked to see if there's anything newer that's come out, because this does an excellent job of pointing out what happens when you enlarge the photo sites on the sensor. You're still stuck with the same size sensor. It's still a 35 millimeter, same as a full frame camera. Now, of course, that's a larger sensor than what's on the Fuji X T1, which is what my channel is normally about, and this has 16 million megapixel, or 16 million pixels, or 16 megapixels. And it, you know, it does fairly good in low light, but you can't get really above maybe 3200 on your ISO without seeing some pretty serious degradation of your images. It's handleable, but it's better if you can stay below that level. So something that can go up to 4 million is just mind-blowing. Luckily, they included a little video sample, so let me just show you that video, and then we'll talk a little bit further about this camera. Okay, so that was a really interesting to be able to see green in the foliage, to be able to see the color of the firefly's lights at 0.01 lux. That's just mind-blowing. So I was reading the article, and I was trying to figure out, well, how many megapixels is this camera, thinking that it had to be a fairly low number. And what do I find? We get down here, and it's a 2.26 megapixel camera. So they had to do that to be able to get that much sensitivity. They had to make those photo sites as large as possible and still produce an image. Now this makes me really curious. I haven't gone to look to see what the newest technology in this type of camera might be. Maybe they have something out there that's equally as impressive that's up around 6 or 12 megapixels. But I would be really curious to see what a modern full frame sensor would be capable of doing at a 12 megapixel photo sight pitch. That would just be super interesting to me. I would imagine you'd be giving this thing a run for its money, just seeing the amount of increase in sensitivity, even with the increase in megapixels that we're still getting today. I think they could go back and re-engineer some of the larger megapixels than what we're currently using, like about the size of the 12 megapixel full frame sensor, re-engineer those photo sites and pull in a massive amount of light. But I'd love to see if you guys have read about anything that's doing this, or read about any of the new video cameras that may be producing even better ISO sensitivity. Comment down below and link an article for me to check out, or a video, or whatever you have, because this is really interesting to me. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and hopefully it makes a little more sense of what I'm talking about with the megapixel and then the chip size. So, with the Fuji cameras, we're running the APS-C size sensors, which have a 1.5 crop factor. I think they're somewhere around 27 millimeters in diagonal length instead of 35 millimeters of a full frame. That sounds right to me. I'm guessing when I say that right now, but I think I'm close. And so these are even smaller than the megapixels would be than the photo sites would be if they were on a full frame camera at 16 megapixels. They're at least they would be a 1.5 crop factor on each pixel. So you're bringing in less light. Now that being said, I'm still absolutely 100% pleased with the chip in this camera and its capability to produce beautiful images in all kinds of light settings. But to see something pull out color on foliage, under starlight and firefly light, that's just crazy. It makes me think they've got the capability of creating some imaging cameras that would be absolutely unbelievable in extreme dark settings, or even for like shooting astrophotography, being able to pull light from distant stars that we can't even see with our eyes. That would be phenomenal. So just kind of curious if you guys have seen anything like that out there. I'm still searching and looking through the net, see if I can find anything, and I'm sure I will find something out there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully it helped you understand a little bit more about the size of those photo sites and what kind of difference that makes in the imaging capabilities and the low light capabilities. So right on, have a good night. Catch you guys later.